And how's it going, everybody? You know who it is. My name is Sunwoo, and breaking news from the sampler realm. The Digitakt 2 has been leaked and is apparently about to be released. Here we can see it on a French vendor's website, which is, I believe, the one that's leaked it. And then, of course, Synth Anatomy has posted some news as well. And on top of that, I came across a link of an apparent Elektron website which features the Digitakt 2. So this seems to be a work in progress website. It's using pictures of the analog rhythm, but is clearly describing Digitakt 2, which is really nice. So let's get right into the features. We have a 16-track drum computer and stereo sampler. So we finally got stereo samples for the Digitakt, and also we have 16 tracks of sampling available if we want it to be. So we have 16 tracks and we can choose how many of these we want to use for samples and how many of them we want to use for MIDI control, which is really cool and makes it super flexible. And yeah, so you can use it depending on your needs. If you need 4 MIDI tracks, you need 4 MIDI tracks and have the rest for samples and so on and so forth. Also, apparently, I don't know if I can find this right now, but you can now MIDI learn the CC values of your gear. So you click MIDI learn and then you turn a knob on your gear and it's learned to the MIDI track. And on top of that, you can name these MIDI CCs. So if you're controlling a cutoff frequency on your synth, you can rename that MIDI CC to say cutoff on your Digitakt screen, which makes it much easier to remember what you are doing on the Digitakt when you are controlling MIDI CCs. So I think that's a very underrated feature, and I think it's nice they implemented that. On top of that, we have changes in the effects structure of the device. So now on each of the tracks, let me get here to this picture. As you can see, there's a new effects button here and it says send effects underneath. So this means, as opposed to the previous Digitakt where all of the effects were send effects, so we had the reverb and the delay, I believe, that were universal and you can send a certain amount of your audio to. We also got insert effects, and these, as far as I read, are chorus, bit reduction, sample rate reduction, and overdrive per track. And on the mixer page, we also have compression and master overdrive. And we also have the normal delay and reverb. So that is pretty cool. There have been some additions here. Additionally, we have now 128 steps for the sequencer as opposed to 64 steps. And if you can see again on this page here, we have 8 LEDs for the sequencer pages. Pretty cool. There's a Euclidean sequencer as well, taken from the new analog rhythm update, I guess. So it's nice they implemented that as well. And what I find really, really interesting is this down here, which I haven't seen mentioned too much. Trig modes for a variety of fun functions. We always love fun functions. 16 levels of velocity. So just like the old MPC feature, you can now use the 16 trig keys to trigger different velocities, which makes it very easy to, just to add some variety to your sequencing. And I think that's really nice. Also a retrig mode. So I guess every key then represents a different level of ratcheting of your notes. And who knows what else they're going to implement with that. That definitely makes it a more playable device, in my opinion. And also bring the preset pool to the surface of the 16 triggers, which I take as meaning that in your sound slots you have different in your sound slots you have different sounds, and you can then turn on the keyboard mode to play your sound slots. I guess that wasn't possible previously. That's something that's been definitely doable on the Octatrack, so I think that's very nice to see it implemented. Apart from that, a perform kit mode inspired by a dash of hidden machine drum magic. Gives you the freedom to experiment with your kit without overwriting its save state. Well, that certainly sounds interesting. I don't know what it means, but a deeper control all allows instant parameter command across all or specific tracks. So it seems like you can, I guess, select whether or not you want to really control all of the tracks or just activate it for certain tracks, which makes control all interesting for me, because before I found it a bit boring as it's too broad a stroke for my taste. But if you can hone it a little more and make it a performance mode that's more akin to, I don't know, the Analog 4, the Analog Rhythms, more intricate performance modes, that would be really nice. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Different scales and so on. Song mode, yeah, we already know that. Yeah, so here it is. MIDI is now available to quickly learn from your devices, sending them renameable MIDI CCs that can be saved to the kit. Tons of samples. Here, dip into the preset pool to access over 1,000 carefully created options, from drums to percussion. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, this down here seems to be information from the Analog Rhythm still. Let me quickly see. Did I miss any info? Probably yes, but this seems to be a lot of interesting stuff. I don't know if I mentioned it, but apparently there are 3 LFOs instead of 2 LFOs as well. Yeah, a lot of stuff in here. Let's look at the picture one more time. Here it is. Also, they took away the naming convention on the trig keys here. So before it said kick, snare, hat, and so on and so forth, which I like that they took it away, because it just doesn't make sense if you freely put your sounds anywhere. On top of that, we have a new button here, the keyboard setup button. And I think this perform button here is new, so I guess that's for this new machine drum-like perform mode. Yeah, here we've got an additional button as well. So there has been a lot of improvement, it seems. And pricing-wise, what do we got? 790 euro, I think. Yeah, it showed to be maybe more in dollars even. Did I get that right? I don't know. Anyway, I think it's a bit more expensive than the old one, but still a lot cheaper than the flagship Elektron devices. And I can imagine that this will be a big seller. I don't know if I can scrape the money together right now, but I definitely want to pre-order it, because yeah, it adds a lot of things that I've been wishing for. Hopefully they will also implement a proper sample slicing mode in future, which I imagine if they're expanding on this platform, I believe they will turn it into the proper sampler it deserves to be. So that's about it for these news. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you are as excited as I am. But let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this? Are you looking forward to the Digitakt 2? Are you going to buy it? And what do you think else they should add to this? Have a great day and peace.